Here's some of the best herbs for natural pain relief. Creodalis blocks pain signals from reaching the brain, similar to how a prescription drug would act. This is a great option for inflammation, migraines, cramps, traumatic injury, and nerve damage. California poppy works like a muscle relaxant to help release tension and restlessness due to pain. White willow bark is like nature's aspirin, and you can use it in much of the same ways that you would use regular aspirin for inflammation, reducing pain, and fever.
This is natural medicine, guys. This is the true medicine. All right, guys, I got another powerhouse for flu and cold season. I'm putting honey into a jar. I'll show you what honey I'm using. All right, so the honey I use is going to be 100% pure, raw, unfiltered honey. This is the best for medicinal purpose, natural medicine. This is the one you want to use, or any raw, unfiltered honey. All right, and then you're gonna use a heaping 2 tablespoons of turmeric. And then you're gonna do a pinch of black pepper. All right, and then you're gonna mix it, and it's gonna be this beautiful paste. This is natural medicine, guys. This is Mother Nature's medicine. Take a tablespoon every morning for preventative, or if you're sick, take a couple spoons a day. I'm telling you, this is the best medicine. This is what you want to give yourself and give your children, guys. It's so easy, so convenient, and so powerful.
7 herbs that improve women's fertility. Burdock root, black haw, tribulus, nettle, ashwagandha, alfalfa, and maca.
Alright, today we're going to talk about the top 5 herbs inspired by Dr. Sebi. Alright, first herb on the list is burdock, and burdock is used to clean the liver and the lymphatic system. It's also used to clean the blood, and it's great for skin issues such as eczema and psoriasis. The second herb on the list is elderberry, and we're going to just go ahead and call elderberry nature's cold medicine with the way that it gets rid of cold and flu symptoms. The third herb on the list is sarsaparilla, and sarsaparilla is good for people dealing with anemia. It's also good for people dealing with blood issues and skin issues. Moving on to the fourth herb, which would be blue vervain, and blue vervain is known to help regulate the nervous system. It helps regulate stress, depression, and gets rid of cold and flu symptoms. The fifth herb is bladderwrack, and bladderwrack is a brown algae that has antibiotic and antiviral properties. It is also great for weight loss, and it is normally paired with sea moss. Make sure to follow me for more alkaline tips.
So what are some natural plant-based ways of dealing with psoriasis? Sarsaparilla root can be ingested orally, or you can apply it topically to help treat and deal with psoriasis. Burdock root is a blood purifier that also helps to reduce inflammation when it comes to dealing with psoriasis. Nettle or stinging nettle has antihistamine and anti-inflammatory properties, so it really helps when dealing with psoriasis. Irish sea moss is a sea algae that's packed with 92 of 102 minerals, but when it comes to dealing with any skin condition, inflammation, you can apply it both topically or ingest it orally. Flaxseed oil is also another great potent remedy when it comes to dealing with psoriasis. You can ingest it orally, half a teaspoon twice a day, and apply it topically. So when dealing with skin conditions, always factor in that the liver might be overtaxed and might need some assistance. So yellow dock, dandelion root, and burdock root are also great ways to help that happen. HealingArts.me, visit the Herbal Apothecary shop. Happy to help deal with your psoriasis.
Another one of my favorite herbs is Castor Sagrande. This cleansing and sweeps that GI tract so good, man. I love Castor Sagrande. People with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, and all types of colonitis, any type of colon issues. This is good to sweep the colon. Not only does it sweep the colon, but it cleanses, detox, support, and tones the colon as well. So Castor Sagrande is one of my best.
Usually headaches are coming from the biometric pressure in the head. You're going to have to, like we talked earlier about relieving the sinus cavities and relieving the maxillary cavities. You got to get the mucus out the head. And sometimes you're dealing with something called amyloid protein. Amyloid protein actually causes headaches too, but the only way to get amyloid protein out of the brain is by the same way. You have to cleanse that lymphatic system. Go on an all-fruit diet. Make sure that you're intaking a lot of H3O, which is juice from your fruits, water from your fruits. and you'll start seeing all that pressure being relieved. And you can go on my website, www.yakiawaken.com, click on the education tab, then click on downloads, and you want to download the actual neurolymphatic massages. Make sure you're neurolymphatically massaging the ganglia nerves, and these are right here. And you can start draining that brain and relieving pressure, biometric pressure at that from the head. What should I do for bad asthma and eczema? Asthma, you're dealing with the bronchial tubes. Get off all lactic acid. Lactic acid, or what we're going to call dairy products, is one of the #1 carcinogenic things that you can do to create asthma. And it's mucus. It's mucus buildup. Mucus buildup with inside of the bronchial tubes, or with inside the alveoli or the lungs, or with inside the respiratory system, period. The best way to cleanse your lungs is fenugreek. Fenugreek will cleanse the lungs. Mullein leaf. Mullein leaf will cleanse the lungs. Coat's foot. Coat's foot will cleanse the lungs. Lungwort. Lungwort will cleanse the lungs. Mix all these three together. Use hot water. Steep your tea. Do not boil them, because if you boil them too long, you will destroy the molecular electrical structure of the plant. We just need to get it hot enough to break through the cellulose to bring out all the healing constituents. But do all equal parts of what I said. You're going to drink 2 8-ounce glasses of these twice a day. In the morning, in the evening. Get off of all meat. Get off of all dairy. Go on an all fruit and vegetable diet. 80% fruits, watery fruits, and go 20% watery vegetables. Give yourself a month, and that asthma will be healed right up. I done healed so many people. Well, the herbs that help. Let me say it this way: the herbs that help. The herbs that I put together that help the body heal so many chronic asthmas. It's crazy, y'all. I'm talking about chronic asthmas. So that's easy. That's easy work.
Anybody that's suffering with high blood pressure, this is how you get rid of your high blood pressure permanently. Stop going after the blood pressure and actually go after the kidneys and the adrenals, because that's the root cause to the high blood pressure. Remember, the top part of the blood pressure is supposed to be at 120. That is systolic. The bottom part is supposed to be at a 70, not an 80. That's diastolic. It's where you get dialysis from. That's the renal part. All right. The best way to heal yourself from high blood pressure is hydrating the arteries. Arteries come from aries or eteris. Eteris means a vessel that holds air.
Very, very light yellow, which is bad. So very, very light yellow is bad, because that means you're not getting rid of it. You see that very, very dark yellow, I mean so dark it look like it's orange, that's the liver, and that's too many concentrated minerals. You see that? Then you got clear urine, which is very bad as well, because that means you're diluting all of your electrolytes and minerals, and you just flushing the body, and you're not cleansing the body, or you're not bringing all the phytonutrients back to the vena cava to return all of them good nutrients back to the cells of the body. And then you got foam, which represents protein in the urine, meaning that the body is not breaking down the polypeptide constituent chains anyway. So the color of your urine is supposed to be a light tinted yellow. It's not supposed to look clear at all. And it's supposed to have a white substance that literally sinks to the bottom of the bowl. That's what I'm saying. So if you got clear urine, something is either wrong. You're either drinking too much H2O, which I don't recommend that at all anyway. Not saying that you don't have to have any of it. No, you can use H2O when it comes to making teas and stuff like that. But the 98% of your water income is supposed to be from your fruits. You don't even got to juice it. You can literally bite into the fruit and eat your water. You can eat your water just by biting into it. Now, if you want to juice it, that's even better, because that's going to remove the fiber from it, and that's going to give you high yielding carbon. Either one. And look, you can still have your water if you want. It's not going to kill you. But we trying to reach and elevate the consciousness. We trying to reach and get the most energy as possible. A lot of our adrenals is effed up, family.
You see this right here? This should be your best friend. If you have sleeping issues, you got insomnia, this should be your best friend due to the seeds that's in there that contain melatonin. Seeded grapes should be your best friend. You are stressed, you are depressed, it is a natural oxidative. Seeded grapes should be your best friend. You have heart disease, seeded grapes should be your best friend. You have cholesterol, high cholesterol, seeded grapes should be your best friend. You have diabetes, seeded grapes should be your best friend. Seeded grapes is great for everything. Anything that can literally flush your system out, because the seeded grapes are loaded, with H3O2, which is basically your water that you eat. Seeded grapes should be your best friend. And the list of things that seeded grapes It's good for, goes on and on, especially inflammation, which I didn't say. And like I said, the list goes on and on. I just wanted to put you on some game real quick and tell you to stop consuming, the grapes without the seeds and get you some seeded grapes with the seeds in there. As a matter of fact, I should bust one of these open real quick before I buy it so I can show y'all, what your grapes naturally should look like. You see this right here? When the seeds come out of there, that is what your grapes should look like. Stop consuming the seeded grapes. And by the way, if you're located in Brooklyn and you're looking for a great place to purchase some seeded grapes, look at this price. It's only $1.49 a pound. So all you got to do is come out here to this whole strip on 86th Street and Bay, 31st, 32, like literally the whole block. Like if you see the whole block and 2 blocks and 3 blocks now, it's literally like 6 blocks with a bunch of Asian farmers markets. I just want to tap in with you and share the wealth with you. If you need some seeded grapes, or if you need some yellow dragon fruit for like $3.50 a pound, or if you need some papayas for like only $1.29 a pound, just tap in. Like literally this whole strip, everything you're seeing behind me, is a place of wealth and abundance, because health is wealth. So if you want to get your health on and you are on a budget, this is the place for you to be. And I'm only sharing the wealth because, that's what love do. And love always wins. It's the law. L-A-W. And remember, peace is a weapon. Heal them with peace. And if you're going to be loyal to anything, be loyal to your peace. You want to know what else is a weapon? Food is a weapon. Eat to live or eat to die. The choice is yours.
What do we have here? This right here, take a close look. I don't know if you can see it, but yes, now you can see it. This is called Nopal, N-O-P-A-L. This right here, should be consumed by the people that have diabetes daily. I remember when I made the video about bitter melon that a lot of you guys found interesting. Well, if you have diabetes, and you're consuming your bitter melon daily, and you adding Nopal to your daily consumption, and you can also add moringa to your daily consumption, and you're doing a fruit fast for 60 days and a full body cleanse for 60 days, and you walking for at least 20 minutes a day, trust me, you're on the right track to healing yourself from that aspect. And also, Nopal contains a whole lot of antioxidants. And you want to know one thing, for all the people that's out here drinking a whole lot of alcohol, suppressing things that they don't want to deal with, if you drink too much and you get up the next day and you have a hangover, you don't have to drink any milk or any dairy, that's going to cause you to have pus and acne and eczema and psoriasis and all that. You can get some Nopal. Like this will help you with your hangover. And another thing about Nopal is antiviral. So if you have psoriasis, so that means something in your head is going viral. That mucus and that pus is going viral. You got eczema, something is going viral. You got acne issues, you going viral. And that's the type of viral that you don't want to go. You want to go viral and be lit, for stuff, that's beneficial to you and your well-being, but you don't want to go viral for all the stuff that I'm talking about. Even though when you get, psoriasis and acne and eczema, that's your body letting you know that it's putting in work to release stuff that you done put inside your body that it don't want in there. But if you are going viral for any reason, whether it's boils, GERDs, gout, add Nopal to your daily consumption. Also, you need this. And by the way, if you are dealing, with inflammation, this right here is great for inflammation. Get you some Nopal and add it to your daily consumption. And if you have high cholesterol, yes, get you some Nopal and add it to your daily consumption. I just wanted to share the benefits, some other benefits of Nopal with you. And it's also good for your gut health and cleaning out your system. But this thing right here is major. You can either consume it like this, you buy it fresh, you can find it at your local Indian market or your local international market and your Caribbean markets also, or you can consume it like this. Hold up, let me zoom in. Let me see. You know, you can consume it like this in tea form. You know, you can purchase it by tapping a link in my bio, smoothgeneration.com/law, LAW, and the code LAW is to get 15% off your purchase, and that's LAW. And you already know that LAW mean love always win. It's the law, LAW, just like the shirt, you know. And always remember, peace is a weapon. Heal them with peace. And if you want to be loyal to anything, be loyal to your peace. I love you. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. You want to know what else is a weapon? Food is a weapon. Eat to live or eat to die. The choice is yours. I love you. Now go ahead. Go now. Go love yourself. You wanted the recipe for the cucumber salad? Well, here it is. Get you some Kirby cucumbers, chop the head and the booty off. You slice it up like this. You know, yeah, like that. You get you some yellow bell peppers. You slice it up, little bitty pieces, little bitty pieces, small little pieces. You keep going. You know, we're not gonna show the whole thing. You know, cutting a whole bunch of peppers. You know what I mean? Then we cut up to the, jalapeno peppers. Chop off the head and the booty, down the middle, and down the middle again, and down and do that 2 more times, and then then we chop it up, boom, 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 small little pieces, put it on top of the goodness, goodness on top of goodness. Oh, and then, you get you some scallions. You go right down the middle, like, I mean, you got to be careful, because you might cut yourself, and that knife is extremely sharp, and, you might not be good with a knife like I am, but, this is how you do it. Put the scallions on top of that. Look at that falling. I keep on falling. Just like that, and then you grab you a handful of cilantro. You squeeze the water off of that. Make sure it's clean. Got to be clean now. Oh, yeah, looking good. You chop it up like this, like that. You put it on top of that. Goodness on goodness. Goodness on goodness. Goodness on top of goodness. Then you grab, portobello mushroom, then you slice it. Ooh, slice, more slices. Look at that thing slicing. That boy is a professional slicer. He been slicing his whole life. But anyway, and you cut down the middle, and then I know y'all see the little pieces falling off the board, but we're gonna go get that. Don't worry about that. You put it on top of that, just like that. Then you get everything else. And then, boom, you turn it around. You see that? Oh, it's starting to look real good. I know. And then, boom, you get you some red pearl onions. We could have got the regular big onions, but this time we decided to go with the little baby onions, with the red pearl onion, You got to eat the pearls, You can't be eating the BBW onions all the time. Get you the little pearl onions. Put it on top of that. You chop it up real nice, make the plate extremely colorful, because life is colorful, Our chocolate system is colorful. Everything is colorful, so you got to eat your colors too. You put it on top of that, boom, boom. You keep going, look at that pearl. Oh, cut the pearl in half. Oh, we got to cut the pearl. Cut the pearl. Oh, and then you put it on top of that. All right, I think that's a little bit of onions now. Too much onions. I think the onion part is too long. Let's get to another part. Can we? Yes. It made me cry. Tears. Boom. You get you some sun-dried tomatoes. Y'all know I love me some sun-dried tomatoes. You feel me? Just like I love olives, I love some sun-dried tomatoes. It's funny because there's no olives in this recipe, but it should have been, but get you some sun-dried tomatoes. You put a, few. I put a lot on that because I love them. When you love something, you want a lot of it. And then, boom, you got the crushed red pepper. Sprinkle dankle, Sprinkle dankle. Yeah, you sprinkle dankle that on top of that. And then, boom, you get a little cayenne pepper. More fire. Light the more fire. More fire, more flavor on top of that. Like this, like that. And then, boom, you got your oregano. You take a little bit, like salt bait. Look at the finger. That boy know how to sprinkle. He's a professional sprinkler. He can like drip it. You get your basil. Y'all get the whole recipe. You ask for it, you gonna get it. Oh, that's what you want? This is how you gonna get it. Sprinkly. Yeah.
boom. You know, you get a little. Do y'all say paprika or paprika? How y'all say it? Cause I say paprika. Matter of fact, I don't even know how I say it, but that's what we putting on there right now. And then boom, you get you a little pink Himalayan ancient sea salt. You know, pink is the color of love, so put some love on top of that. Ooh, love. Look at all that love. And then boom, you get you some key limes. You know, some limes with some C's on there. Not those high British limes. You know, not those limes that give you erectile dysfunction and make you sterile, and real limes, you know. Then you squeeze it, squeeze the juice. Look at that thing dripping. It's juicy, it's dripping. Ooh, yeah, it look good, don't it? Look at that. Ooh, and then you pull it out. Then you pull out the wrap, the raw seaweed wrap. Then you mix everything, all that goodness, everything that y'all just saw. Y'all got the whole recipe. Then you mix it in all together. You stir, you know. You gotta know how to stir, and then you scoop. You gotta be a professional scooper. Watch it. Scoop. Watch it. Scoop. That boy be scooping. Yeah, and then after you finish scooping, you know, you put the spoon down and you bang, you grab it like this, and then you roll it up real nice, and then, you know what I mean? Man, you lick it like a blunt. I used to roll up, you know, I used to burn it down, not no more though. You know, I'm high off life now, look at that thing. Bussin', yeah, lick the tip, lick the fingertip. You want some? Don't act like that. You know you want some. You don't want none, I'll take it. Look at, ooh, it's buzzing. It tastes like love. It tastes like life. And as y'all know, love always wins. It's the law, LAW. And remember, peace is a weapon. Heal them with peace.
So if you see that you thinning hair or losing hair, know that you have a nervous system issue. Now you have to start going after things that's going to actually heal the nervous system. Your berry kingdom is very, very good for actually inciting and stimulating and regrowing or regenerating damaged nerves. So berries. Get your anthocyanins in. Get your melanin from your fruit in. That will help actually repair the nerves, y'all. Blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. Yes, mulberries, berries, juniper berries. Go berry crazy. Berries. Berries is your highest neurological food on planet Earth. If you want to heal any neurological diseases, go on a berry diet. You want to regenerate nerves, go on a berry diet. You want your penis to get stiff and hard again because you suffering from the lack of circulation, go get on them berries. Them berries will change your life. You have bad menstrual cycles, you have fibroid tissues building up in the endometrium lining of the uterus and cervix, go on a berry diet. It will even regulate women's period. Berries are amazing because they high in antioxidants. Not only that, they're oxygenators, and not only are they oxygenators, it literally feeds the cells of the brain. The only thing other than fats that feed the brain is antioxidants from berries, y'all. And these are straight up facts, man.
Y'all seen the prices at the store lately? Man, check out this almond milk. I promise you, it's cheaper, easier, and a whole lot better for you. Check out how I did it. So I got my almonds. They were soaking overnight for 24 hours. Then I'm going to add them to a blender with some fresh water. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend that up till it looks like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and add that to a cheesecloth and a strainer. And I'm going to go ahead and strain that out. I used the strainer and the cheesecloth just to make sure none of those bits got through. Then we're going to go ahead and strain it, wring it out, and we're going to do this in batches until all of our milk is done. Then we're going to add us some vanilla bean paste and some sugar to your desired flavor and sweetness. This is how I like mine, but you're more than welcome to leave it plain. Once you go ahead and mix that sugar and vanilla bean paste up in it, go ahead and pour it up in a mason jar. Voila, you got fresh made almond milk. Told y'all I know a little something.
100%. I'm more on like the health side, like the Dr. said, be like in the eating, you know what I'm saying? Like your regimen on the health and like what the shit you eat affects you and you can see it in your face, like more on that type of level, like if you don't mind like
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, fasting is the cure for everything. When your body don't have nothing to eat, it's gonna eat all your bad cells up because it go into fight or flight. And when it eats your bad cells, your body release hydrogen. And you know, we breathe in oxygen.
Sure.
So I be wondering like, damn, I done went all day without eating and drinking, but I'm still pissing. Like, why am I pissing?
Yeah.
We create our own water.
When's the fast? Is it the sun's up to down? Is that?
That's what most people do from sun up to sundown. But I like to do it to where when I break my fast, it's just with liquids. I like that liquid diet.
That's hard. So what's the longest you fast for?
Like no food, just water,
Yeah,
like
yep,
liquids.
Yep.
Like 42 days. I did about 3 of them.
42 days?
I hate what I'm about to say. I don't even want to.
No, I don't hate it. We learning. This I ain't gonna lie. This
Nah,
we learning.
it's kind of deep.
You go there, bro.
Nah, I'm okay. I'ma just say this: when you fast, you not delusional. When you fasting, things really get weird because you not seeing you seeing beyond the physical realm. You seeing into a spiritual realm.
Why are you protecting? Why are you protecting like?
Like I was trying to like kind of keep everybody keep my wingspan around everybody. But if you want to.
No, because like when you talk about fasting, I was playing for the Chicago Bears 2013. I went on a fast. I did 21 days. And Dwayne Joseph, one of my mentors, he'll be a general manager one day in the NFL. And he is like, yeah, I think you should go on a fast. But when you fast, I want you to journal, I want you to meditate, and I want you to pray, right? And so I did that, and I had an experience where my cousin Denise, her second fight of cancer came back, and I'll never forget. I'm driving down the highway going to practice, and I'm like, all right, what we gonna do? We gonna pray, but we not even entertaining that
at all. It's fixed.
Boom. So we pray.
It's fixed.
We pray. She called me back 3 days later. I went to the doctor. The doctor said they can't even find it. And I'm not saying that was through, you know what I'm saying?
Alhamdulillah.
But fasting, bro, like when you you pray and you meditate and you write down, like so much stuff comes up and so many things can happen, but you gotta be really aligned though.
When I need something, when I'm really in need, like if I need the answer, I need clarity, I stop eating. I hate to, like, I know this sound weird to people when they hear this, but it take about that 40 to really reset who you are as a person. That 21 gonna be a complete like reset. But then once you get in that 40, man, close to them 30, that's when things get weird.
See, I was doing
in a good way.
Yeah. I did 21. I was eating like nuts and peanuts, like kind of like paleo, like Jesus died, they call it.
Is that cool? What's your suggestion on somebody?
It's like,
what's your suggestion on somebody that's never done it before? Like
starting off.
Like what would you suggest?
The slower you go, the further you get. The slower you go, the further you get. If you're going to do 2 or 3 days, then one day work your day to 6 days, work your way.
Wake up, don't eat, let your glycogen deplete. Because if you mind your gut, you do in fact keep your mind. If you start to look into research behind visceral belly fat and the links to the hippocampus volume, you're going to stumble across brain-derived neurotrophin factor, neurogenesis, neuroplasticity, something called intermetabolic switching, where when your body's not using carbohydrates as a fuel source anymore, it switches over to ketones, which are 2.1 times more powerful down to the mitochondrial energy source itself. Sounds pretty complicated, doesn't it? Here's the beauty, because it's the easiest thing that you're ever going to do. So talk to your doctor, talk to your PCP, talk to somebody smarter than me. But I specifically remember fasting 20 hours a day every single day for an entire year, not eating for 3 to 5 days at the beginning of every single month because I want to learn how to read books on a faster speed, and I learned that neurogenesis is the birth of new brain cells in your memory and learning center. And neuroplasticity is the formation of those brain cells, and when you sprinkle some brain-derived neurotrophic factor on top of that, which is considered miracle protein for your brain, things happen. Like number 1, you recognize that sugar's linked to anxiety? Huh? Sugar's linked to the brain-derived neurotrophin factor? Huh? We should go through the evolutionary phase of, huh? Oh, aha, when we finally realized what it actually meant all along, and now we know how to apply it to our lives. I realized that my diet was about 4,000 calories of candy and ice cream and just pure garbage. At the end of the day, it's why I created the 50 Brain Cell Challenge for people. It's why we have a 24-page paper of healthy foods written by a gut restoration dietitian, so everybody understands how to eat food. And most of the foods you want to eat don't taste good because they're not laced with ingredients that signal the brain and say, depression, tastes great. So if you eat a lot of sugar, this is known to increase anxiety and lower brain-derived neurotrophin factor levels, which sounds much worse than it probably actually is, right? Wrong. It's much worse than it sounds, because your brain-derived neurotrophin factor is linked to so many neurodegenerative diseases to the point where, well, I don't want any of those. Why doesn't the doctor test me about those? Oh, that's right. They're one of the preventative things. that if we know that that's off, we can prevent ourselves from experiencing the things that medicine is known to increase brain-derived neurotrophin factor. Wait a second here. So you're telling me that if I eat crappy food, my gut microbiome gets messed up, my sugar levels go up, my brain-derived neurotrophin factor levels go down, I'm then supposed to take a pill that raises my brain-derived neurotrophin factor levels. Wait a second here. So I'm just gonna level. I used to be a gym bro that ate garbage. I was poor and unhealthy. Once you realize there's another side to that, like you aren't poor and you aren't unhealthy, you recognize the scale for compare and contrast of to how bad life actually is right now versus how much better life could be if you decide to start taking care of yourself. So moral of this story is that when you hear random things like this online, go check them out. See if
How do we overcome the cravings of addictive soft food drinks? You do a parasite cleanse, because majority of the cravings that you guys have, it's not you having it. You know, a lot of you guys are walking around pregnant. The same way when a goddess get pregnant and she has, you know, a whole nother being in her womb and she start craving for things that she never craved for. It's the same thing with you guys. You got a bunch of tapeworms, you know, pokeworms, parasites in your belly that is literally craving for the garbage, which is what created it in the first place. You are not born with parasites. When you eating garbage, your body create the parasites to defend itself, the tapeworms. And when you do a parasite cleanse and you get rid of the worms and all that, you will start to notice that a lot of the cravings go away. So basically there's people walking around eating for 200. You got a bunch of mini worms. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 big worms inside of your body that are craving. You know, they eat, they poop, they burp, they pass gas inside of your body, and everything that they do, you know, do something to you. When they pass gas, that chemical that they release can put you in a depressive state. It can affect you mentally and emotionally and spiritually, because your mind, your body, and your spirit are working simultaneously together. So that is why you're craving a lot and you're addicted to a lot of things, because you literally have, you know, an addict inside your stomach. The only thing it wants is garbage, and you're gonna continue to crave garbage until you get rid of the being that lives on garbage. So for you to get rid of the being that lives on garbage, you have to starve the being, and then you feed it the stuff, you know, that kills it, like the real herb, like the wormwood that's in this tea, like the black walnut, like the mugwort, like the yarrow root, like papaya seeds, you know, like cayenne pepper, like cloves, you know, and a spoonful of castor oil. You take all those things and you put them together, you know, and you consume it, you know, while on a healthy stomach, while on a clean stomach, preferably on an empty stomach. And you do that for a good amount of days, and you know, you might notice, you know, some little creatures pop locking out your booty, or out your mouth, or out your ears, or out your eyes, or out of you in whatever way, shape, or form they choose to escape, because they feel like the place that where they at, they're not getting treated and they're not getting fed. So now they see that they're dying, they're trying to escape. It's either that or they die inside of you. And when you poop, and if you look down, you might notice stuff that don't look like, you know, the poop that you normally see. So, you know, start consuming life and you'll get rid of death. You want to get rid of death, don't consume death. Don't feed it. To answer your question, family, intermittent fasting is a great way, you know, to start and to entering a healthier lifestyle. Let's just say you the regular, you know, standard American diet eating person, or you the regular, you know, black American diet, which is the sad diet, and the bad diet eating person. You can start wherever you at. You don't have to make the jump, but I do advise you to make the jump. But if you want to take it slow, start with intermittent fasting. And I got this regimen, which is every 21 days. Let's just say you eating red meat and dairy and starches and drinking and smoking and mistreating yourself. Like, start with intermittent fasting. And when you start intermittent fasting, you know, as the days go by, your body will get used to not consuming all day. So basically, for the people who don't know, intermittent fasting is giving your body a window when that's the only time you eat. Like, let's just say me, when I used to intermittent fast, I used to only eat from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So literally from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., you can eat whatever you want all damn day. And the reason why that is there's 24 hours in a day. So that means you give yourself 8 hours to consume, and then you give your body 8 hours, you know, to process
all the stuff, all the food, and then you give your body another 8 hours, to eliminate. So now your body is working properly. And now that your body done got used to you after 21 days not eating all day and only eating through that time span, every 21 days you remove something. And when you remove something, the body is not gonna go through a shock or feel like it's experiencing something new because it's used to not eating all day, and it's not even gonna notice it, and it's gonna freely and gradually let you remove certain things out your diet. Now let's just say you start the intermittent fasting, and after 21 days of intermittent fasting, you remove your red meat, and then another 21 days you remove chicken or something, another 21 days you remove dairy, another 21 days you remove your starch, that literally has no nutritional value, and then the other 21 days you remove your sodas, and then another 21 days you remove your processed sugars, and then so on and so forth, and you will gradually walk, until whatever goal you have set for yourself, whether it's alkaline, vegan, raw, plant-based, or fruitarian, or whatever the case may be. That's a great way to begin the journey into loving yourself the way that you want to love yourself. And you already know, love always win. It's the law. LAW. And remember, peace is a weapon. Heal them with peace. And if you're going to be loyal to anything, be loyal to your peace.